Cadet Vexlar stood at attention in the pristine halls of the Galactic Defense Academy, his chitinous plates gleaming under the artificial lights. For 3 cycles, he had trained to become an officer in the Coalition fleet, dreaming of the day he would command vessels across the stars. His people, the Thoraxi, were known throughout the galaxy as fierce warriors, or so they believed. Today's assignment was routine, a comparative study of pre-spaceflight warfare among newly inducted species. The humans had joined the Coalition only 2 solar cycles ago, and their archives had recently been declassified for military study. Vexlar settled into the neural interface chair with confidence, expecting to breeze through another tedious academic exercise. The first file loaded into his consciousness, the Somme, 1916. Vexlar watched through the eyes of a soldier named Thomas, crouching in a trench that stretched beyond the horizon. The mud was alive with disease, the air thick with the stench of decay. Then came the whistle. Thousands of humans climbed from their earthworks and walked toward enemy fortifications across open ground. Machine guns opened fire. Bodies fell in waves, yet still they advanced. In a single day, 60,000 casualties. The battle lasted 4 months. His mandibles trembled. No tactical shields, no aerial support. They just kept walking into death. The next file activated before he could process the first. Stalingrad, 1942-1943. A frozen hellscape materialized around him. Humans fought humans in temperatures that would kill most species within hours. They battled building by building, room by room, sometimes for a single staircase. Soldiers froze to their weapons. Citizens starved in cellars. Over 1 million dead in the rubble of one city, yet neither side retreated. The humans called it strategic necessity. Vexlar's breathing became labored. His training had covered siege warfare, but nothing like this. The Thoraxi would have negotiated, relocated, done anything but endure such horror. These humans simply adapted. The archives continued their relentless parade. Verdun, Hiroshima, the rape of Nanking, Dresden, Vietnam, Rwanda. Each conflict revealed new depths of human determination and brutality. They developed weapons specifically designed to maximize suffering. Fire that stuck to skin, diseases deployed as tactical tools, bombs that reduced entire cities to shadows burned into stone. But what truly disturbed Vexlar wasn't the violence itself. The galaxy had known war since the first species reached for the stars. What haunted him was the scale, the duration, the sheer stubborn refusal to stop. Humans waged war for resources, for ideology, for religion, for pride, for reasons they couldn't even articulate. They fought in jungles and deserts, in frozen tundra and urban mazes. They fought on seas, beneath seas, in the air, and eventually beyond the sky. Most species in the Coalition had 1, maybe 2 major conflicts in their pre-spaceflight history. The humans had dozens of major wars and thousands of minor ones. They numbered their world wars. They had fought continuously, somewhere on their planet, for their entire recorded history. The file shifted to something recent, the Syrian civil war. Vexlar watched a father dig through rubble with bare hands, searching for his daughter after a barrel bomb attack. The man's hands bled, his voice raw from screaming her name. When he finally found her small body, he simply sat in the ruins and held her, rocking back and forth. Then the next day the father joined the fighters. Not for ideology or territory, for revenge, for meaning in the meaningless. Vexlar ripped the neural interface from his head, his 3 hearts pounding in discordant rhythms. The sterile classroom felt suffocating. Around him, other cadets continued their studies undisturbed, but they were reviewing the Peltharian trade disputes or the Zentari colonial expansion. Civilized conflicts with clear objectives and reasonable casualty ratios. Only Vexlar had chosen Earth. He looked down at his own appendages. Strong, yes, but built for ritual combat, for displays of dominance. The Thoraxi had fought 3 wars in their entire history before achieving spaceflight, each lasting less than a solar cycle. They considered themselves warriors because of it. But humans were born into war, shaped by it, defined by it. They didn't just fight, they excelled at it, innovated at it, industrialized it. Then, impossibly, they wrote poetry about it, painted it, taught their children about it so they would never forget, and immediately forgot anyway, and did it all again. The most terrifying realization came last. These archives ended only 200 solar cycles ago. The humans who joined the Coalition weren't ancient history. They were separated from this savagery by mere generations. Some of their eldest members had lived through these conflicts. They shook hands with Vexlar at the welcome ceremony, with the same appendages that had once pulled triggers and thrown grenades. And yet they smiled. They seemed normal. That evening, Vexlar submitted his resignation from the Galactic Defense Academy. His instructors were baffled. His clutchmates were disappointed. His career was finished before it began. But Vexlar had seen the truth that the Coalition's politicians and recruitment officers hadn't yet grasped. Humanity wasn't a member species to be welcomed into the galactic community. They were an apex predator being invited into a nursery. Every human in the Coalition fleet, every diplomat, every scientist, they all carried those archives in their genetic memory. That capacity for relentless, creative, brutal violence lurked behind every friendly gesture. The galaxy thought it was gaining valuable allies. Vexlar knew better. They had recruited survivors of a planetary-scale crucible that no other species had endured. When, not if, but when, the Coalition faced a true existential threat, these humans would respond with the only language they spoke fluently. And the galaxy would finally understand why humanity's ancient military motto was so perfectly accurate. Si vis pacem, para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Vexlar returned to his homeworld, content to live as a civilian. Let others discover what he had learned. Let others command fleets alongside humanity. He had seen enough. He knew what monsters looked like when they smiled.